what's up guys, it's your man JB here and welcome to this video and welcome to my channel if you haven't been to my channel before. Oh yes, welcome to JBTV. Now in this video I've got this lovely job of covering up these bathroom tiles. As you can see, this bathroom has been ripped out just last week. I've been called in. The client here wants this MDF tongue and groove effect panelling. Now the panelling is due to turn up any moment now. It's supposed to be here this morning, nearly 11 o'clock. It's not here yet, but it doesn't matter because I've got lots of prep to do. But let me just show you what I'm up against. So you can see this area where I was just standing. I've got a little bit of repair work to do above the tiles here. And if I just pan round a bit, yes, there is a bit of a mess, and that's me making some of this mess on that little bit there and also there, and I'll show you why in a moment. But I have also got this section to do here. Now I'm not too worried about this wall because actually it's really flat, and so is this bit here. This is the problem wall. Now I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but the wall is not very flat whatsoever. And one of the reasons I've just pulled these tiles out, because as they went along they literally came right out like this, and that's not going to be good for trying to get panelling on there. Now what I've done right now is taken these tiles off and just kind of taken this section of tile out, because again, as the wall came along, the tiles stick right out, and that's not going to be good news when I'm trying to stick a flat panel against it, because this wall really isn't flat. Now I've got this a lot better. You can see there's still a lot of wobble there in the level, just using that as a straight line. This bit should be okay because I'm just going up to the windowsill here. But this, I might have to take a little bit more out here. But check this out. So I've got to put a panel up against that. So what I'm thinking of doing is actually removing these tiles here, so that will sit a lot flatter, because there's no way I'm going to be able to stick an MDF panel against that. So all I'm doing for now, sorting some tiles out, prepping the area, getting it as flat as possible. So that is one of the things to consider when putting MDF tongue and groove style panelling on the wall, is you really want to get it as flat as possible. You might have to batten it out, you might have to dig away at the wall, but trust me, it's worth doing, because the MDF panelling doesn't give you a lot of bend. You can't bend it a great deal, and I'm going to be using adhesive to fix it to the wall, and you don't want rather large gaps when using the adhesive, and I want all the panels to join up quite nicely. So yeah, I'll crack on doing this, and hopefully my panels will turn up soon. Now because the tiles are staying on, I'm going to be putting the panelling to the top of the tiles, but the first thing I really wanted to do is just check how level they are, and you can see, you might just be able to see I've got the laser level on them, and although it's a little bit high on this one, as we go round, the line is pretty spot on the top of those tiles. So I'm going to feel quite confident in just aligning the panel, the MDF panel, with the top of the tiles. So what I'll do, I'll cut the panel roughly to size, a little bit under, because I've got new skirting going up against the paneling on the floor. So I'll make the panels a little bit shorter than the height of the tiles, just so I can lift it up slightly and get it exactly in line with the tiles. So it will stick out quite far. Obviously the tiles are sticking out and the MDF panels are sticking out, but then I'm going to finish it off with a little bit of capping, just a little bit of softwood that goes round the top. Well, you can see just how many tiles I've had to take off here now, because the wall was just so so uneven, it was unbelievable. And this wall isn't great either, it's all rather soft, and it's quite an old building. Some of it goes back to the 15th century, so you can't expect the walls to be too good. But certainly in terms of how flat they are now, look, I can get the level on there, I can get the level on there, and although I've taken them all the way here, it's going to be a lot more level that way. So that's going to make it much easier. And this is the corner where I'm going to start the panelling. I'm going to get this bit in here, because this is a relatively flat wall. I'm going to cut it into this corner, and then I'm going to put the first bit in here. Now what I've done is I've PVA'd the wall, because I'm going to be using some adhesive. If I just put it on this real kind of powdery old plaster, it's really not going to stick. So I've given it a nice coat of PVA, so it will give me something to stick the adhesive to. So that bit's fine, bit of cutting out to do here, and then I'm just going to end the panel at the end of the window here. I'll just turn you around so you can see it. So I'm going to take the first panel all the way to here. I think this will be a good point to cut it, because the wall, I think, it's not very flat here. I'll stop this panel, and then I can take the panel from this side of the wall to here and put a join just there. It's a small bit of wall, and I really don't think you're going to see it too much. Right then, I'm ready to fit the first panel. Here it is, it's all ready, it's cut to size, it fits this area here, and we're ready to stick it on. And for that, I'm using this Dura Plus, and this is a multi-purpose, ultimate performance for every task. Silicone, sealant, cork, fixer, glue, adhesive, all sorts. It does everything. It's absolutely fantastic. Well, I'm hoping it is anyway. So we're going to chuck some of this on the wall and fit the panel. So what I'm going to focus on here is just big blobs of it on every tile. So I'm going to put like a rather large bit on there. Hopefully that will be okay. If not, even if that area doesn't stick, it's not a problem. It's only a tile thick or a tile deep. There we go. Cool. That's nearly done a whole tube already. But I've got plenty. Now I'm sitting it on the skirting there, and I just need to lift it up a little bit in one area. So I'm going to use a 1mm spacer. I might use two 1mm spacers. It just needs to come up so I can get this level with the tiles. So I'll put it into position first. Like so. And I'll just lift that up slightly so I can squeeze these under there. Now this product is supposed to be high grab, as in it really does grab the panel straight away. So I've got that level with the top of the tiles, got a nice fit here. Anything, just need a little bit of cork to go in that tiny gap there. And that cut quite nicely in the corner there, because after I took the tiles out, it was, before the tiles the wall was like that. And then once I took those tiles out, it's nice and straight. So that is actually a square panel, which is really good. And great stuff. Okay, first panel on. Next panel cut and in. It's not fixed yet, but what I've done is I've put a couple of blocks, I've screwed a couple of blocks to the skirting just to support it for now. I might need to adjust it slightly, but because this one's longer and a little bit more awkward, I've put a couple of blocks there temporarily, just while I scribe out this bit around the windowsill. But other than that, I think I might need to trim that bit a little bit. But really the case at this point is just put it in, no adhesive, just make sure everything's right, get all this cut out and sanded properly, and then once I'm happy with it, and of course it's flat against the wall, I'm not sure whether I'm going to have to take a couple more tiles off, but once I've got that and it's all flat, then yeah, we'll stick this one on. Tell you what, it's getting hot in here. Whew. Summer's certainly peeking its head round the corner, but I'm feeling it because this panel here, this has taken the most work to fit. I must have taken it out about 20 times, so if you're going to give this a go, do be prepared to keep taking it in and out. And yeah, I'm working on my own, but hey, I think this is going to be the hardest one, but I think I'm pretty much there now, so I'm going to go ahead and fix it. Having those blocks there makes a big piece like this a lot easier to get in, that's for sure. You know exactly how high it needs to be if you can get those in beforehand. So a little bit of pressure to squash the sealant so it makes contact with the MDF. Now this is pulled in quite well here, but what I've got is just a couple of blocks which I've cut, and I can use these, and I'll put this little block just here, and that will just hold that in at the bottom, and exactly the same I've done at the top. So I'm not going to wind this one in far because I don't want it to ruin the MDF. But I'll go just a little bit like that, and that'll just be enough to hold that bit in there. Now we know there's nothing behind, but it's not really a lot I can do about that. You know, there are some areas that are going to feel a little bit spongy, but overall that's gone on really well. A coping tool is definitely a tool to have when doing this kind of work. So I've just got this little bit here to cut out, which is the end of the windowsill, and because this panel is set further back, I'm going to have to take a bit off here as well. So I'll get this out, then I'll take that off. Having a laser level can be really handy with bits like this. So I've got the laser level set up, so it basically just runs down the edge of this architrave here. So what we'll do, we'll put this board into position, and it's a little bit tight there at the moment, but that's okay. But what we can see here is that the line then runs down on this panel exactly where it needs to be cut. So what I'm going to do is mark it there, and I've already measured it at the top, and that's actually spot on. So by marking it there, fingers crossed, if I cut that, that should go straight in. Now I've got this one nicely fitted now. It isn't, I haven't stuck it to the wall, but it is quite bendy. I've taken a lot of the tiles off, as you can see, around this area, because they did stick out quite a bit, so that's flattened that quite nicely. That will go back. There is a little bit of spring in it, so what I might have to do is put some braces across the room just to hold that in overnight while that adhesive goes off. So this one, as I said already, is a little bit wavy, I've put the adhesive pretty much on every tile, and the tiles are probably about 150, 200 square, something like that. So they had blobs all over the place, and we've got some along the top, and it's squirting out slightly, which is good. So it shows that it's squashing and making contact. And I've put this temporary brace in just to push the panel against the wall. I don't want to do it too much, because where I'm pushing it here, it starts pushing it out there. So I've just got a little bit of pressure on there, just pushing it against the wall slightly. So when I come back tomorrow, that should be completely stuck. The adhesive should have gone off, and yeah, I'll be ready to crack on with the rest of it. Before I go tonight, just thought I'd get one more panel in. It's quite an easy one. I've only had to cut the bottom off. It's full length. The wall's nice and flat, so I'm going to get the adhesive on, whack it on. As you can see down the bottom here, there were no tiles, so what I've done to pack it out, I've just taken some smashed bits of tile from the other side and just stuck it to it. So once that MDF is against it, it's not going to go anywhere, because without that there was a little bit of movement at the bottom, and we definitely don't want that. Right, we've got plenty of adhesive on, so let's get the panel on. Now I've already measured how much I need to lift it up by, and used these packers to get it dead in line with the tiles there. As I've said already, the bottom doesn't matter because there's skirting going on there. So I've got 17mm on this side and 5mm on that side. Boom, that was easy. I've only got a small bit to do over here, a little infill there, and then that bit behind me just here, so definitely done for the day now. Okay, so I've got this panel in now. This one was quite easy, there was no cutouts or scribing to do, but the one thing that I did need to make sure is that this section here was square. As you can see, I've got the old laser level on it, and the plumbers have done a pretty good job in getting this panel completely vertical. So by putting this cross laser level here, I can tell that this is exactly 90 degrees. So I'm not going to change this. So I've got the length, I've got the height, and what I did need to do here was just adjust the size, because it wasn't quite the same length at the top and the bottom. And as you can see, I've just got a couple of blocks holding that up in position while it goes off. But yeah, that one's nice and easy. So all I've got left to do is this small bit here, and once again what I did is put the laser level down here, and this is 90 degrees here, and measured it out. You can see the bottom is wider than the top, but I do know that this section here is 90 degrees, so I don't want to change that on the panel that I'm about to cut. Okay then guys, sorted, that's me done. Well, that's the panelling done anyway. I've got all other bits to sort out now, like the trim on top, I've got to fit the skirt in, and then I've got to decorate this room. So best get on with that, I think. Well, it's been a couple of days now, and as you can see, I've got a bit more decorating done, and we are nearly there. Today is the last day, I've just got a little bit of painting to do. I've got a second coat to put on top of here. I've got a little bit of touching up on the walls. I've just glossed the window. I need to gloss the door, and then I'm out of here. As I said, this does need another coat yet, so you might just see a few bits of caulk here and there. Window literally just been painted, and I have fitted the skirting, if you can see behind the paint pots and what have you. So there's the skirting there and there. I have got two pieces cut right here, and they're going to go basically on this section and over here on this section, but there is a vanity double sink unit going in here which the plumbers are going to be fitting, so hopefully they'll be kind enough just to cut those bits of skirting down and stick them against the wall. You can also see the top cap that I've done. This was just a bit of 10 by 20, I think, something like that, 10 by 20 softwood, but you can notice here where the wall really did go out, so I had to plane that right down to allow for the wall. There we go, that is the finished product, how it looks when it's all done. Everything's done, the walls, the ceilings, the cladding or the MDF paneling, it's all done. So fantastic, I'm done, can't wait to get home. It's the weekend and I'm looking forward to a beer. Oh yes. So if you've got any questions about this project and fitting MDF tongue and groove panels to the wall, then just stick those in the comments box below and I'll do my best to answer them. Remember to like and subscribe, that would be fantastic. I really do appreciate your support, and also in getting my subscriber numbers up and making my videos popular, I guess. Awesome, nice one guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.